Hi everyone, I am Father J. Boy Gonzalez. I'm a Jesuit priest and the director of the Ignatian Spirituality and Formation Office of the Ateneo de Davao University. The prayer that we will use is called a preparatory prayer. It is taken from the spiritual exercises of Saint Ignatius of Loyola. Jesuits usually use this prayer to begin classes, meetings, spiritual activities, and events. It says that whatever we do should begin and end through God. And that is exactly what we want and hope for in this activity. May I ask the Catholics to mark themselves with the sign of the cross, while the others might put themselves in their own proper disposition. And so, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, Amen. Dear Lord, we ask you to help orient all our actions by your holy inspirations. Carry them out by your gracious assistance, that every prayer and work of ours may always begin from you and through you be happily ended. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Enjoy this event.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, ewas ang sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong bangaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na naghihingi, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may maghihingi. Luman ang araw ng waragin pagsinta, mo'y langit sa pilit mo. Ang higaya na pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Good afternoon, everyone. What's up, guys? We are live from Facebook and YouTube right now. I am Mr. Sid R. Agua, Araling Panlipunan teacher in the grade school unit, and one of the hosts of this afternoon event. And we also have here teacher Sharon, my colleague in the grade school. She's one of the CLE teachers in the grade 5 level. Hi, teacher Sharon.
Hello, Sir Sid, at magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. I am Teacher Sharon, one of your hosts this afternoon. And welcome to our 9th episode entitled Peace and Pieces of Love. A conversation on understanding peace and journeys in attaining peace.
Speaking of the 9th episode, you know what, Sister Sha? In numerology, number 9 represents a culmination of wisdom and experience and buzzes with the energy of both endings and new beginning.
Wow, may pan-numerology ka pa dyan, Sir Sid, ha? But you know what? I really agree with you. This number in personality represents a very nurturing and caring people. They are usually tolerant, forgiving, and peace-loving. Of course, I'm sure kagaya sa ating mga speakers today. And hindi din tayo pahuli, Sir Sid, kagaya din sa atin, di ba? Of course, that. And we are so lucky to have chosen to be one of the hosts for today's episode. So once again, good afternoon to all our viewers in Facebook and YouTube, especially to the grades 4, 5, and 6 pupils of the Ateneo de Davao University Grade School Unit. And to all our teachers, hello po, and parents tuning in as well. Welcome everyone.
It is indeed a fantastic and wonderful afternoon to have this kwentuhan. Yeah, right, Teacher Sharon?
Yes, Sir Sid. Pero bago tayo pupunta sa next part natin, para hindi tayo magutom,
I have here with me egg sandwich and of course, corn coffee tayo for today para support local naman tayo. Now, let's ask our audience in Facebook and YouTube. Ano ba ang meron sila this afternoon? You may write your answers or you may write your snacks. Pwede niyong isulat sa comment section natin. Okay. I can see my students right now joining in our live stream. No? Hello, Phil Jacob. Welcome to our live streaming this afternoon. I think we are all set, no, Teacher Sha? I think they are busy right now eating their snacks. So I think we are all set for this afternoon's kwentuhang kapaya paan.
yes, I think they're so excited and ready. And we will fill this hour with stories of peace. And we will also listen to the concrete experiences and valuable insights of our guests this afternoon about God's pieces of love.
Okay, there you go. But before that, you know what, Teacher Sha? I received or may natanggap tayong snacks na pinadala ni Teacher Jenny.
Wow,
Sabi niya, may snack daw siya.
salamat!
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay, may
suman at
suman
kape.
and coffee daw siya. Very good, no? Sige. Now, I know that they are excited for this one, no? This topic that we have this afternoon. We would like to inform everyone that we have a simple contest for today. Napakasimple lang ang ating mechanics ng ating contest. All they need to do is to create their personal peace code. It should be original and you need to post it in our comment section and do not forget to use the hashtag peace and pieces of love na makikita natin sa banner natin sa live streaming. So if you have your personal peace code with you, please type it in our comment section, either in the Facebook and in YouTube's channel where you are watching right now. We invite our grade 4, 5, and 6 pupils to type in the chat box. And of course, kapag may contest, meron yang tinatawag na prizes or may mananalo or winners. The winners will be announced at the end of the episode.
So, we highly encourage po all our viewers to please participate and don't forget our hashtag, hashtag peace and pieces of love. So, at this point, let us meet, greet, and welcome our guest with their favorite quote on peace. So, let's begin with our first guest. He is a very versatile person who is very involved in community engagement. Please help me welcome Sir Mark Samante. Good afternoon po, Sir Mark. Ano po yung favorite quote on peace niyo?
Yes, good afternoon, Teacher Sharon, Sir Sid, and all the viewers on Facebook and YouTube. Well, quote on peace, we all have our differences. However, we can always look at the same direction.
Yes, tama, no? We are really different from each other, but it's just to understand each other points of view. Tama ka dyan, Sir Mark. And then we also have with us Sir Sid, please.
Okay, our second guest speaker. Our second guest speaker for this afternoon is a father and a coach. Everyone, let's give a virtual clap to Coach Will Gonzalez. Coach Will?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'd like to take this time also to say good afternoon to my new team in the college football. Favorite quote is peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved through understanding. It's from Albert Einstein.
Thank you, Coach Will. So according to Coach Will, peace cannot be kept by force now. Very good, no? Teacher Sharon?
Next, we have with us Sir Hilton Soberano, a trainer, a manager of a rugby club. Take it away, Sir Hilton.
Hello po, good afternoon sa lahat. So I'm Coach Hilton, and for the quote, Coach Will, we have a lot of similarities, one of which is this quote. So I really like this quote as well because a lot of us may think that it's about control or it's about force, but it really is not, at least for me. So ayun po, peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding, by Albert Einstein.
Yes, salamat po. So, from Sir Mark Samante that we have different varied insights and varied personalities. And then sabi ni Sir Will that we just have to understand each other so we could attain peace. So, wow! Peace quote pa lang yan at parang punong-puno na tayo at busog na busog tayo sa impormasyon. Pero patikim pa lang yan. Sir Sid, I think we are ready po for our main course of today's kwentuhan.
Yes, Teacher Sha. I think we are ready. But before that, we need, or may I just a friendly reminder for our audience, no? Our audience to our grade 4 and 5 and 6 pupils who want to join our contest. Again, please use the hashtag peace and pieces of love. You need to create your original peace code, upload it or encode it in our comments box or comment section, and then do not forget to include the hashtag peace and pieces of love. Shall we proceed now to our main course? Sige. Now, let's proceed to, upon listening to their peace codes, mukhang handang-handa na ang ating mga panauhin sa araw na ito. I know they are all excited to share their insights as well. Let's keep the ball rolling as we fill the hour with inspiring conversation about peace. Iniimbitahan din namin ang ating mga Facebook and YouTube viewers to actively participate, to you may share your insights as well. At pagkatapos, pwede rin nating sabihin ang ating pwede tayong mag-raise ng questions later kung meron tayong questions na nais nating sagutan, no? Pwede nilang ipadala ang kanilang questions sa ating chat box. Teacher Sha?
Yes, I think at this point, Sir Sid, let's begin our chikahan with our first question. So before we go deeper into our conversation, I think we have to define first the word peace. So our first question is about peace. Mga sirs, what do you think is peace? Or what is peace to you? So pwede po ba nating mauna si Sir Will? Sir Will?
Hi, good afternoon. So for me, because the understanding of peace can be very contextual. It will always be different from each other, from each person's perspective. So for me, peace for me is being able to pursue the activities that I love doing without the fear of repercussion. Being able to do what I love to do without the fear of somebody telling me that you're no longer being controlled. Being able to be creative without having to fear that whatever I create is going to be questioned later on. So that for me is peace.
Yes, so there's freedom, no? There's freedom from controlling, freedom from violence, no, from peers or anyone. So we are so free to do. So there's something that there's peace in us. So thank you, Sir Will. What about you po, Sir Hilton? What is peace to you?
I really like what Coach Will has mentioned. No, you can pursue what you really want without repercussions. So siguro to expound a bit on that, because in a general sense, peace is like you're free to choose and be who you want to be. So it's more on identity. At the same time, human rights are respected, and there is peace when there is justice for everyone. It's not just a peace for a few, but for everyone, especially those marginalized and the vulnerable. Now, if we go to the personal context po, because I'm a coach, for me, it is when children's right to play is respected. They feel safe enough so that they can engage in play. So yun po, because we know, for example, when children are afraid to play, there's something else going on. There's probably armed conflict. There's probably climate emergencies. They are displaced or they have poor living conditions. So yun po. So if there's peace, I believe that children can freely play.
Yes, no, I think it's all about growing who really we are, no, our own identity as a person. So for the kids, they're free to free to play whatever they want. So own identity and growing themselves. Thank you po, Sir Hilton. What about you po, Sir McCoy? What is peace to you?
Yeah, peace is the absence of conflict. Walang gulo, walang away, lahat masaya. And pag may peace, pag may kapayapaan, lahat ng sistema naka-put in place para hindi na bumalik doon sa gulo, doon sa ano man yung mga conflict. Sabi nga ni Coach Hilton kanina, 'di ba? Pag may kapayapaan, children are free to play, and as Sir Coach Will has said, when you are free to identify and be yourself, that's truly peace. So yeah, tuhog-tuhog talaga yung peace kahit saan mo tingnan. Magtatamaan at magtatamaan talaga yan pag para sa kapayapaan.
Yes, correct. So I think you are mentioning here about be compassion. Now, peace is compassion for others. Now, there's that you love someone, that you be able to grow, even if there's challenges, be able to be who you are as a person. So that's really peace. So thank you for our first question. Sir Sid?
Okay, sige. Thank you very much. So, ang gagaling ng ating mga speakers this afternoon, no? Parang nakaka-pressure. Okay. Um, nakaka-pressure pakinggan ang kanilang mga sinasabi. So, uulitin ko lang ha. According to to Coach Will, peace is freedom. According to Sir Hilton, according to him, sabi niya, where human rights is respected, it's for everyone, at dapat masisecure natin ang safety ng mga bata. Lalo-lalo na they have the freedom to play anywhere they want, no? And then, of course, kay Sir Mark, sabi niya kanina, peace is the absence of conflict, na kung saan dapat walang gulo, walang away. Safe ang everyone. Na nakaka-pressure, no? Kung sa tingin mo, Teacher siya, kung tayo ito, can we do this? Can we define peace in our own? Okay, sige. We will give time. We will give each other time to define peace as well. Let's go deeper to the insights and the knowledge and the wisdom of these speakers. So, follow-up questions, mga coaches and sir, no? How do you nurture peace as a parent, as a coach, and as an administrator? Or how do you manifest, how do you manifest the language of peace in your life? We'll start with Sir Mark. Okay lang ba, Sir Mark?
Yeah. Sure. Sir Sid, sabayan ko na si Coach Will at si Coach Hilton. Before I became part of extension work in the university, I was also a coach. And one way of really expressing peace or a language of peace as a coach is recognizing the individuality and differences of our athletes. Itong mga atleta na hawak or tinuturuan namin, we train, we work with at least every day, every weekend. Yung pagkilala sa kanila bilang mga tao at bilang mga bata na tumitingala sa atin bilang mga coach, bilang mga magulang, bilang mga guro. That is a very profound expression of of living peace because we recognize the individuality, the differences. Walang magkakapareho dyan. Kahit nga sa magkakapatid, magkakaiba yan eh. 'Di ba? How much more handling 12, 15 kids in sports, in the classroom, I believe you handle 40 kids. In community work, we handle several communities, different religions, different cultural backgrounds, different experiences. But once we recognize their individualities, the differences, and what makes them human, what makes them persons, we become peace builders ourselves because we don't contribute to further divide, but na appreciate natin yung bawat isa na merong pwedeng itulong at pwedeng i-contribute para mas maging mapayapa ang buong mundo. So, dun muna siguro, Sir Sid.
Thank you, Sir McCoy. So from what Sir Mark shared earlier, nurturing peace through recognizing the individualities of the kids, no? As a coach and as a peace advocate as well, knowing that, knowing them as human beings, tao sila, and as a kid, no? We serve din, nakuha ko rin kanina according to Sir McCoy that tayo sa loob ng silid-aralan at sa labas ng ating classroom, we serve as their model, no? And we appreciate as well na bawat isa sa atin ay may mahalagang papel na ginagampanan sa pagsulong ng tinatawag na kapayapaan. Thank you for that, Sir McCoy. Let's proceed to Sir Hilton.
Yes po. So my answer is actually building up from the answer of Sir McCoy. So yung sinabi niya na may individuality, iba-iba ang tao. Ibig sabihin, diverse. We're very diverse, right? We come from different backgrounds, different religions, cultures. And siguro doon manggagaling yung sagot ko na how do you nurture peace? By understanding that conflict may always exist. But there are different types of conflict. We might want to see them as positive. There are positive types of conflict because we are very different. Hindi natin mapipigilan na may conflicting talaga na mga ideas and, for example, belief systems. So what we want to be able to do to nurture peace is to navigate these types of conflicts, no? So that we can focus more on the solutions instead of like siguro denying na sige, let's try to compromise, or let's try to ignore na lang yung problems. We recognize everyone has different perspectives. How do we navigate through that? So, and we can essentially use this conflict and turn it into positive ways use it for our growth and progress. So, yun yung first way. Ang second way ko is letting go of control. So, going back dun sa favorite quote natin kay Einstein, so you cannot do it by force. You can, for example, particularly what I do with my players, since I'm a coach, I let them play, I let them take charge, and I let them exhibit self-determination to express their individualities. And if there is conflict, good, you are expressing your individuality, but the question is, how do we navigate through that conflict so that essentially we understand and we respect each other in the end. So yun po yung answer ko.
Thank you, Sir Hilton. No, ang ganda ng message nila. So according to Sir Hilton, conflict is everywhere. No, nandyan talaga yan. It always exists. No, and according to him, is we need to let them enjoy. No, letting go of control by letting them enjoy each moment. And kung may conflict na mag-arise, then let them be. And then we believe also that lahat ng may problema, lahat ng away, lahat ng kaguluhan ay may solusyon. And we believe that we are that chain. We are that anong tawag nito? We are that weapon or that kasangkapan for that solution. Now let's proceed to Coach Will. Coach Will.
Okay, grabe. Honestly, ang bigat nung answers nung first two panelists natin, no? So, and the funny thing is, we were already talking about this in the backstage earlier that mangyayari to is it will all fall on sports because we're all involved in sports. Okay. So, tutuhugin ko yung sinabi nilang dalawa, no? So, with our involvement in sports, I'm highly involved in sports here in our university, and before that with the community as well, no? For me, it manifests in that involvement. Because for me, I saw sports as a tool, a very strong tool for peace and social change. Because yung sinabi ni ano no sinabi ni Kun, the individualities, sinabi naman ni Sir McCoy, the boundaries, no. Sports can actually bridge all those differences, no? And then one more thing about sports, that the intrinsic values of sports, yung teamwork, no, most especially teamwork. We see most of the sports that we see are sports teams. So of course, teamwork, the culture that's built through sports, we're able to cross those boundaries and start speaking the same language. And last but not the least, respect. Sports is very, very it targets a person to learn to respect not just his coach, the people that he or she will be in a team with. No, so yun, teamwork, respect. That's very intrinsic in sports. So it's really a powerful tool if used correctly. Sports can be a very strong tool for social change and to achieve peace. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Coach Will. So, ang lalim talaga, no? Nasa second question pa lang tayo. We still have a lot more of questions coming. Now, according to Coach Will, sports plays a very vital role talaga in achieving peace. According to him, it can bridge all those individualities, sabi niya. It will target a lot of values na pwede natong makuha. Nandun yung collaboration, nandun yung respect, nandun yung discipline, nandun yung sportsmanship, no? Especially with what happened in the basketball na trending ito ngayon, no? Kailangan talaga yon. So, I think tama yung sinabi nyo kanina that conflict happens or exists anywhere, no? Everywhere. Always talaga yan, no? May makikita tayong conflict. So, Teacher Sha?
Yes, knowing the personality pa lang, no, as what Sir McCoy said, may mga conflict na mangyayari dyan, no? Knowing the personality, understanding varied or diverse culture, sabi ni Sir Hilton kanina, may mga conflict din na along the way might happen. And sabi din ni Sir Will kanina, involvement in sports, a long way, no? Hindi man natin sinadya, but there would be challenges along the way that we cannot really hold on about it. But what is very important, sabi ni Sir Will kanina na the sports could be one of the biggest tool that we could attain peace. Kasi from there, we could target developing the whole personality of the person. Yung discipline na sabi ni Sir Sid, yung attitudes, yung whole personality ng person that would be developed in that involvement of sports. So talking about conflict, talking about diverse in their attitude, varied personalities that you have, I'm sure you have their mga stories, mga sir and coaches, stories of triumphs or challenges you encounter along the way in attaining peace, or how do these experiences make sense to you, or if not, were there challenges or even trials, especially in attaining and maintaining peace? Can we have Sir Hilton, please?
Yes po. So, challenges siguro yung marami, no? So, siguro po ang observation siguro natin in achieving peace, maybe not personally, but based on observation, is that when people are not accountable for their actions, like for example, when we have wars, tapos yung halimbawa leaders, yung nag-dictate ng war, who goes to war? So, kumbaga, they sometimes are not accountable for that. Or sometimes, for example, conflict sa social media, punta tayo sa social media, you might feel not accountable for the people you are attacking just because you're behind the screen. So as simple as that. So that breeds a lot of conflict. And another is when we have the tribalistic mentality na parang kami versus kayo. So these are the challenges that I have observed na yun, it makes it difficult for everyone attaining peace. It can also be personal. So like yung kanina, yung when we were defining peace, the first question, we're in it is in an individual level. So, di ba, meron tayong different identity, beliefs, worldviews. So, it is not just outside, no, or in a general sense, or in the world, but within ourselves as well. So, for example, relating into my answer on what is peace with regards to expressing yourself, there is peace when you're able to express who you are. However, if you're trying to compromise it for others, you're not able to express or you're afraid to express, it will compromise who you are, and kumbaga yung inner peace mo naman ang affected. So hopefully it doesn't manifest into something negative, but it often does, like mental health issues or problems. Those things happen. So yun yung mga challenges natin na I have observed din on a personal level. So yun po.
Yes, thank you to tama Sir Hilton that we should be if one is not accountable of any problem, yun nandun yung peace, ay nandun yung conflict, nandun yung challenges in attaining peace. And even our own selves, no, could be one factor in could be a factor in challenging and maintaining that peace. So thank you po, Sir Hilton. What about you, Sir McCoy?
Yeah, stories of triumphs on peace. I can share two probably. Una is yung Sports for Peace Children's Games. In 2016 or 17, along with the Philippine Sports Commission, we were crafting a program on children's games for peace. Ito ang participants mga bata. So binuo yung programa para maglaro. This happened on this happened May 23, 2017. And if we recall our history, May 23, 2017 was when Marawi was taken over. While we were having the children's games here in Davao City, Marawi was taken over by the extremists. But what good narrative came out from that was, even with conflict, we can always do peace work. We can always work together for peace. Kasi itong mga batang ito, these will be the children who will take over from us. And if they experience a good and wonderful experience of peace, it's just unfortunate that while we prepared for it, nung gabi ng 22, biglang nagkaroon ng gulo sa Marawi. But after the initial program of the Children's Games for Peace in Davao City, dinala yan doon sa Marawi, in the different conflict areas in Mindanao. Inikot yung program na yon. If we did not start it here in Davao City, walang magiging programa para sa iba. And ang precursor nung children's games na yon was the children's game sometime 2007, if I'm not mistaken, 2007, 2008, in the camp na naglaro yung mga anak ng sundalo at anak ng mga MILF at MNLF, bola hindi bala. Yun yung premise nung na yon. So that was the precursor before the 2017 Children's Games. So that's one. Another story of triumph is the campaign for the BARM or the BOL. While the BARM was purely for the Bangsamoro brothers and sisters, one good experience there was that everybody was advocating for that recognition of the Bangsamoro people, Christians, IPs, Muslims. We were all together trying to rally for that passage of the then BOL before it became the BARM. And as a university, we also showed our support, expressed our support for our brothers and sisters in the BARM by doing candlelighting program here on the eve of the ratification of the BOL. We went to Cotabato City. So, may mga pagkakataon talaga na when we look towards the same direction, kahit pa ano yung pagkakaiba natin, then we can achieve something together, even with all the differences we have. So, siguro that two stories are very meaningful for me as a sports person and as a Mindanaon. That's really something.
Wow, that was indeed a victory, Sir Mark, no? With all the sports activities, programs that you're able to come up with, plus talking about what happened here in Mindanao. And I think para kung one direction lang talaga ang ating puntahan, we could really attain peace, no? Conflict man yan, mangyari man ang conflict, may mga challenges man along the way, but if we have one direction, as what you have said, we will really attain peace. So what about you, Sir Will?
So yung dalawang co-panelists here, they talked about peace in the point of view of being in the community, no. So I'll just say something about myself as a person, inner peace, no. Funnily, when I received the invitation and then I saw what the topic was, it broke my inner peace. So I lost my inner peace. So I was scratching my head. What do I talk about? No, I was so focused with my other. Right now we're doing the tryouts for the college varsity, so I had a lot of things on my mind. And then the topic, I just saw the topic within this week, no. So then I realized that if you like the quote that I mentioned earlier, and Kuhn also mentioned earlier, you cannot force it, no, you cannot force peace. I instead focused on the now, what I was doing. No? So I think individually, if you just keep focused on the moment and what you're doing, that is one step for you to achieve inner peace, being in the moment. And then gradually, as you are in the moment, then that small dot of peace that you have within you, it grows, and slowly it's either you might affect someone with that peace that you have with you, and you could also, in a way, get somebody else, makahawa ka in the community, it grows bigger. So I've never, not that I've been in conflict with other people, but I've been in conflict with myself most recently. And that was something that I focused on. Instead of worrying about what I could not control, I instead focused on what I had in the moment. And I was able to achieve inner peace, and I was able to think more clearly and not be distracted. And here we are today talking about that.
Yes, so tama, no, dapat peace within, no, diyan talaga mag-start, no, the peace within ourselves, the peace within whatever we have in our mind, in our heart. So there must be inner peace so that we can ignite, no, we can share, we can spread this inner peace to other people and could affect, no, somehow. No, sabi, you're very, I really like the one you have said, sir, na we cannot really force peace. Now, the peace, it's been a long time battle. Now, it's been a long time battle, but even up to now, there's still no conflict happened, war or whatever. But if there's peace within ourselves, yun parang plus points na yan sa atin that we can really give that peace and share it to everyone. So there's so many factors, no? Many factors you have mentioned, especially in attaining and maintaining that peace within ourselves, in our society, and even in our own community. So even if there's like that, I'm sure we are trying our best to really have that peace within. So Sir Sid, of course, hindi lang yan, may mga follow-up questions pa po tayo mga sir. Sir Sid?
Thank you very much sa ating mga speakers. hindi talaga tayo nagkamali na i-invite sila this afternoon. No? They have different contexts, no? Different stories of challenges and triumphs in life. And we all have, no? Even tayo, Teacher Sharon, we have different stories of triumph and challenges, no? Especially yung mga inner peace. Kunin ko lang yung sinabi kanina ng one of our speakers that um, for us to achieve peace, dapat masaya lang tayo kung anong meron tayo ngayon. And I think that's the good start for us, no? To achieve peace, the inner peace that we have. Sometimes nga when I had my retreat in Samal Island, no? Tahimik ang lugar, but there are so many voices na nasa loob na marami palang dapat i-resolve sa ating sarili, no? Para ma-achieve natin ang inner peace, no? Now, for our speakers, I want you to close your eyes and reflect this question. This is very easy questions lang, a reflection question. Imagine the world without peace, no? Imagine the world without peace. How different would it be? Okay, let's start with, sino ba ang pwedeng mag-start? Sir Mark? Pwede ba, Sir Mark? What would happen to our world without peace?
Not much. Kasi nga sabi ni Teacher Sharon, we're still working towards peace. It has been a long dream of all peace advocates, peace. People looking for peace in the world have been working on it since time immemorial. So wala masyado kung wala mang kapayapaan. Siguro mas gagrabe kung ano yung nararanasan natin ngayon, the war in Ukraine, all the conflicts, all the different misunderstandings. But it's also good to note na people are working for attaining peace. The document on human fraternity is there. Just last November 4, meron na namang nangyari na parang dialogue between the church and the different religions. Nangyari na naman. So, yun. But if we think of the world without peace, I think wala masyadong magbabago.
Okay. Sige, thank you for that, Sir Mark, no? So, nothing will change kung walang peace, no? Because I think, sabi ni Sir Mark kanina, mas mag-worse pa siguro ang situation ng ating mundo kung walang kapayapaan. So, magiging magulo, no? Okay, sige. Coach Will? Coach Will, what will happen to our world without peace?
Well, gaya ng sinabi ni Sir Mark, no, lalong gugulo. And we won't have the mundane things, the things that we, on a day-to-day basis, take for granted. You know, social media is we are on social media right now. We won't have that if we didn't have peace. Those freedoms that we are just taking for granted, they're not going to be available to us. No. I'm thinking back to the past election and everything that has happened before that, no? Everything, diba? Sir, you're a aral pan teacher, diba? Those freedoms itself, the freedom of for us to be able to choose who to lead, despite, let's say, some of you will not be amenable with who's in office right now, but that freedom that others exercise to pick who to lead, that wouldn't be available if we were not at peace. And it's a freedom that everybody takes for granted.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Will. Sabi nga, gaya nga ng sinabi niya kanina, no? According to Sir Rap, no, from the junior high school, no, peace begins with us, no? With me, with yourself. Dapat simulan talaga natin. Especially in social media, i-pick up ko lang yung kanina na napakagulo talaga, no? I couldn't agree more na during the election, although hindi pa naka-move on na tayo, pero nakakatawa, no? Nakakatawag isipin na na-divide tayo because of our political views during the election. Nag-away-away, meron nga nag-unfriend na sa Facebook, sa social media. At saka nagtitirahan ng iba't ibang banat para lang ma-convince ang isang party. So, freedom in social media talaga, we really need to be careful, no? Kasi minsan naaapakan na natin ang kalayaan or ang freedom ng ibang tao. Tapos rampant talaga doon ang bakbakan at bardagulan ba kumbaga. Thank you for that, Sir Will. No? Sir Hilton?
Yes po. So getting a quote from Coach Will, nawala yung inner peace ko dito sa question na ito. Kaya nagustuhan ko yung answer ni Sir Mark. Kasi sabi, di ba, ang tanong, how different would this world be without peace? So parang ang una kong naisip, wait, may peace ba sa world kung world ang pag-uusapan? Because of all of these things happening sa Ukraine, Russia, West Philippine Sea, tensions with North Korea, yung mga ganun, ang dami-dami, even in our own backyard. So we have all these things happening. Kaya yung parang going back to yung sinabi ko kanina when we were defining peace, di ba, yung define ko is peace is when there is justice for everyone, especially the marginalized and vulnerable. So a lot of us, we are experiencing or enjoying our freedoms, right? But there are a lot of us as well, even in Mindanao, that don't have the same. So na-display sila, they are, for example, experiencing yung violent conflict. So yun yung parang ano, so siguro kung babalik na rin na lang yung tanong, how different would this world be with peace? Kahit na yung mga marginalized sector, kahit yung mga vulnerable na mga Filipinos, lalo na sa Mindanao, if there is peace, siguro it is not difficult to move forward. There will be more growth. And then everyone is kumbaga free, everyone is equal. Na-enjoy natin lahat equally kung ano yung freedom. Hindi lang ng iilan, hindi lang nung mga mas fortunate. Katulad natin, for example, na fortunate that we can enjoy all these things, like for example, social media, unlike some of our Mindanao people. So, yun yung siguro yung sa akin. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Hilton. No? Very good. Maganda rin yung tanong na binaliktad niya, no? Looking at the other side of the coin na what will happen if there is peace in the world, no? Kung sabi ni Sir Hilton, if there is peace in the world, more growth, mapayapa, of course, and then we will have equal rights, equal freedom, and hindi lang siya selective to a few people, no? Very good. Now, Teacher Sha?
Wow, parang napapa-awe and wonder ako sa mga answers ng ating mga ano, kasi simple lang masyado yung question, Sir Sid, no? Kasi yung answer natin kanina, wala lang, maging chaos talaga yung world pag walang peace. But let's take a look at it na ever since, no, we've been fighting, we've been battling, we've been looking for this peace, but up to this time, parang na-attain, yes, pero still, no, nagkakaroon pa rin ng conflict. So sabi ni Sir McCoy, the war in Ukraine up to now, still going on. Now, and even dito sa Mindanao, may mga nangyari pa rin ng mga conflicts, between the community and other people, no? But still, we are fighting to have that one. And for our last question na ba tayo, Sir Sid? We'll move to our last question na. Time check.
Teacher Sha, let's give na lang. To our viewers, please type your questions. Or if you have questions or clarifications or you have insights about the topic, you may in code. You may type it in our chat box or you may type it in our comment section and our speakers will try to answer your questions. No, kung may questions kayo. Try lang naman, questions, simple questions lang naman. Kung wala naman, Teacher Sha, I think we are going to ask this question na lang in advance to our speakers, no? So they can create, no? You can compose their answers already. Teacher Sha?
From the registration, we have here 2 questions po, mga coaches, mga sir. First question, unfortunately or fortunately, 2 questions lang po from all those who register. First question, is it selective in attaining peace? That's the first question po. The second question is, viewing the reality of the world we live in, why is it sometimes we feel that peace is hard to attain, where some resort to violence to get what they want and need? So, yun lang po yung dalawang questions natin from the registrations. Are we ready po? Can we have first the first question? Is it selective in attaining peace?
Sorry,
Anyone po?
what is selective? Medyo broad yung question.
Oo nga eh. It is...
What is selective?
May I?
Yeah, go,
Go,
Kun,
go,
go.
sir.
Sige po. So yung sa pagkakaintindi ko po, based din sa yung bago ko lang din na nasabi and based din sa definition ko of peace. So for me, if selective siya, I would assume ibig sabihin yung iilan lang yung nakaka-experience ng peace. I would my answer to that is no. I think if it's selective, if peace is only for a few, it's not peace at all. It's control, or it's ano ba? It's one group of people over the other. So, parang kumbaga hindi rin siya magiging peace because yung nade-deprive ng peace mag-aalsa, or they will fight for their rights, and there will always be conflict. So, yun yung parang sa akin. Only when, babalik tayo sa quote namin ni Coach Will na paborito, when there is understanding sa lahat, sa everyone, and it's no longer selective, ibig sabihin iisa yung definition natin or naintindihan natin ng isa't isa kung ano yung peace. And then that's when there will truly be peace, I think, for me. And I'm not sure if it's possible. I don't know. That's a question. So, yeah.
Yes
Sharon?
po. What about you, Sir McCoy? Sir Will, do you have something to say?
Maybe not selective, like what Kun was saying. Maybe subjective, no? Kasi in places of conflict, there are still small pockets of peace, di ba? I mean, right now, with
Yes.
what's going on in Ukraine, di ba? We can all see the news. Although sometimes we should not believe what we see in the news because news can be very, sometimes there's fake news. But in those areas of conflict, there are still small pockets of peace, small communities where they are able to still enjoy their freedoms despite what's going on around them. Individuals, as in, because like inner peace, individually, even if you're in a place of conflict, you could still achieve your own inner peace. So subjective, not selective, I think.
Yes, correct. What about you, Sir McCoy?
Sige, I'd like to look at it on from the question na why is peace hard to attain? Structures to attain peace are not yet in place for those situations. Marami kasing klase ng peace, di ba? Peace is not only the absence of conflict, but it can also be the presence of indirect or structural violence. Ano yun? Ano yung mga structural violence? Corruption, human rights abuses. Yun yung sinasabi ni Coach Hilton kanina. So, pag yan present pa rin, then peace is really hard to attain. But if we put in the structures, peace education, peace research, peace action, this what we are doing right now. This is part of peace education, peace action. If we put the systems in place, then slowly, peace can be attainable. Slowly, but surely. Now, dun sa ano naman, sa sinasabi na selective or subjective ang peace, yes. Peace is relative. What is peaceful for an individual may not be the same peace that is being experienced by the other. Kung ang peace para sa akin is makakain ako ng maayos, baka yung peace para sa iba makatulog ng maayos. We all look at peace in different lenses, in different perspectives. But what we can do, yun yung sinasabi ni Coach Will kanina, we control what we can control, and then we let go of the rest. Yung hindi natin ma-let go, yun yung nagko-cause ng conflict eh. Those are the things we can't control. We stress out on things that we can't control, but yet There are things we can control and we can work on. And ito yung systems, ito yung structures. The support for the support for government to eradicate corruption, the support for advocating for human rights, um, continuing peace education, doing peace research, peace actions. These are the things we can do to really make peace attainable for everyone.
Yes, no, it's not selective. In attaining peace, it's not selective, but we do have the different understanding. We might have different perspective about it, but it's really up to us in attaining and have that peace within. So, what about po for the second question? Why is it sometimes we feel that peace it's hard to attain? I think Sir McCoy already have answered about this question for our two coaches, to Sir. Why it's hard
Yeah,
to
I'd
attain
like to
peace?
I'd like to build on what Sir McCoy said, no, about the structures for peace that being not in place. No? In our context, in the Philippine context, no, that is a hotly debated topic, no, Sir McCoy. Because look at it this way: take a note of what our government likes to do. No, we as a people, ako, I'm also a Filipino, so isa din ako sa may kasalanan sa mga ganito. Gusto natin yung bombastic. No? We like to have fiestas. We like to have big celebrations. We like to get something immediately. And look at our government, what it does. Some may have a different opinion about this, but this is mine. Instead of building the structures for peace and social change, we build actual structures kasi mas madaling makita eh, no? Si ganitong mayor gagawa ng daan, in 6 months ang daan ay tapos na. Sabihin ng mga tao, ang galing ni mayor, nakagawa ng daan. Pero tingnan niyo po ang social change. Kung itatanim mo yung butil ng social change ngayon, hindi yun lalabas in 6 months. Not in 6 years when someone is still in office. No? It's going to take decades, maybe even centuries. And that is not something our politicians like, because our politicians, like us Filipinos, want also to be seen that they're doing something immediately as soon as they're in office. So I think, yun nga, we need to plant the structures for peace and social change, but let us not expect that we will reap the harvest of that social change in our lifetimes. But if we start now, hopefully, in 50 years, we can attain what we want to.
Yes, so dapat we have to start right now, no? We have to start planting that seed of peace so that the future generation might have also that peace in their own way. Yes, Sir Hilton, do you have any additional po?
Yes po, I actually had a different answer, but upon hearing Coach's Will's answer, I would like to build on it instead because I think it is more important na when we have, when we, like, yun nga, politicians, they don't want to parang build, parang siguro, longer term that, kumbaga, that goes beyond their term. Kasi nga, binoboto sila because of the immediate things. So it goes back to us as Filipino voters. So because this is actually one of the things that we enjoy, right? Voting. Pero this might be one of the things that we, kumbaga, hindi natin siguro tinutukan ng mas maigi or pinag-aaralan ng mas mabuti. We want, ideally, we would want to vote for people na kahit na beyond their term, that's what they're doing. Pero because we are siguro mostly voting for people na, yun nga, mga bombastic, sabi pa ni Coach Will, ang mga nakikita agad, that's the type of politicians that we get as well. So that's why it's difficult to achieve peace because peace is not short-term. Mahirap siya, long-term siya. That's why if we want to make sure that it happens, we want to put people in power that has the same views, that has that, kumbaga, leadership na kahit beyond them, they still push for it. So they start planting these things. So yun po.
So hindi yan siya agad-agad. No, hindi agad-agad yung peace na pwede nating ma-attain. So it takes years, but as what Sir Will said, we have to plant it and we have to start it right now. So Sir Sid, let's move to our last question. Can we have our last question now?
Okay, sige. So, ang ganda na, no? It's already 5 in the afternoon and we are almost, no? Patapos na tayo. So, as we come to the end of our conversation, let's ask our guest this last question. This is the last question that you are going to answer. What can you advise to our peace builders in our community? Any advice that you can give them? Advice? Pwede namang more than two advices, pwede namang ganun. Pero anong masasabi niyo or anong maa-advise niyo, mapapayo ninyo sa ating mga peace advocates or peace builders in our community? Let's start with Coach Will.
Okay. See, so building on what I said last, no, it's more of that. I'm sure our peace advocates already know this. They won't still be advocating for peace if they're not aware of this. But yes, let's plant the seeds. Let's be farmers of peace. No, let's look at let's play for the long term. No, let's not play for the immediate. So as a coach, no, yung play dapat na i-set up mo as hindi dapat ma-achieve ka agad yung score, no. Play for time. Learn to play for time. Peace will be a long game. So prepare for that. So plant the seed now that don't expect the harvest tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach Will. Sir McCoy.
Yeah. For everybody, continue looking at the direction of peace. Yun yung end goal. Yun yung end goal natin. In the process, we can disagree, but we must not disrespect. Importante yun. Look towards the same direction. We can disagree about the things we are seeing, but it should be the same direction. But of course, respect must always be there para tuloy-tuloy yung biyahe natin.
Thank you, Sir Mark. Sir Hilton.
Yes po. So yung sa akin naman, siguro for those who want to start with this advocacy, start with yourself and immediate community. And for those who have been working for so long in this para mag-continue, go back to yourself and your immediate community. So balikan mo, why is this important for you? Why does it matter? Why do you care? So kung baga, you have to know that purpose. Otherwise, baka you're just doing it for the sake of what? It will not last. Whatever you're doing will not last because you forgot what your purpose is. So after that, you may want to learn more about the different struggles of people around you. You can gain deeper insights into our collective history, or at least the history of the people around you, your community. How did things originated? Paano nag-transform? Ano na nangyari? On what happened? Bakit naging ganito na today yung situation, for example? And go back. Why is it relevant for us and our future? So always be well informed about these things. Kasi in terms of doing peace advocacy, we want to make sure that we are actually contributing to peace, not the other way around. So if we are not well informed, we have no insight or the proper understanding about people around us, about the situation, we might be contributing to the latter, to the opposite. Okay, so yun po yung sa akin. Thank you po.
Thank you, Sir Hilton. So, ang ganda ng mga message nila, no? Sana ay nakikinig ang ating mga viewers ngayon sa makabuluhang mensahe ng ating mga speakers. So, according to Coach Will, sabi niya, plant the seed now kasi hindi naman parang sili ang ating peace na aanghang agad ito. It will take time, no? So that the future generations will harvest our efforts, no? And according to Sir Mark, sabi niya, look towards one directions para tuloy-tuloy na. And then segregate kung ano ang dapat i-address na mga concerns para tuloy-tuloy na ang ating biyahe towards achieving peace. And according to Sir Hilton, sabi niya, go back to our core, no? To our roots. What's our purpose in life? Kasi I'm going to quote that one as well na kung if you do not know your purpose, the roots of why you are doing these things, parang it will malulusaw lang din siya. Parang mabubble down na, parang wala lang din. No? Sige, Teacher Sha, now we are almost done, but di ba kanina we had we announced that we have our simple contest. Teacher Sha?
Yes, so gusto ko lang din sabihin na from what I have heard and from what I have learned, parang it's not really easy na to build peace. Yun nga, peace within nga, parang ang hirap-hirap at times, no? Parang shaken yung peace within natin. But it takes a lot of courage, no? It takes a lot of power, it takes a lot of strength to build peace at tuloy-tuloy tayo dapat we have one direction, sabi nga kanina, to really be able to catch that peace in our future generation. So indeed, that was a very, very fruitful and insightful conversation. Salamat po sa ating lahat. At kung ano man yung mga natutunan natin ngayon, let's really put it not only in our hearts and our mind, but we'll show it in our actions, no? Day by day, no? As a student, as a teacher, kami ni Sir Sid, as a teacher, and also sa inyong mga sir in your own different field of works. Na we have to, no, kahit na gaano kahirap, to have that peace and to attain that peace, go pa rin tayo in our journey to love peace, to live that peace, and to lead others in peace. So at this moment, we will be announcing the winners of our Peace Quote Contest. So it was a tough competition, I think. Marami ba tayong mga nag-join sa ating contest? So we will announce now the winners for this afternoon. Sir Sid?
Okay, yes.
Teacher Sha? Okay, we have winners already for our Peace Code, no? And congratulations to Clang Bells. She used the hashtag peace and pieces of love. According to her, sabi niya, there is peace when you exercise true freedom. And that is to choose and to do the good to attain the good. Very good. Congratulations, no, for our first winner. Meron pa ba tayong isang winner? Ilang winners ba meron tayo? Congratulations. Another one, Teacher Sha?
So from Magnolia May Hadulang, sabi niya, peace can be found within. Hashtag peace and pieces of love. Wow! Gusto ko lang balikan yung kay Clang Bells. I think that's one of my students. Yung, she made mention about freedom, that freedom is doing good, attaining good, so that we can doing good and attaining the good, no? That's freedom. Thank you for all our winners and congratulations everyone.
Once again, congratulations to all our winners, and someone from the ISFO will message you on how to claim your prize.
Okay, thank you to all those who participated at nagbigay sa kanilang mga entries, and congratulations to all our winners. So we're almost done with our today's kwentuhan. We would like to thank our guest speaker for today, to Sir Mark, thank you po, to Coach Will Gonzalez, thank you po, and to Sir Hilton Sobirano, thank you so much for being with us today.
Yes, thank you very much, our guest speakers, for sharing your knowledge and wisdom, no? Napaka makabuluhang conversation talaga ang ating nangyari, ang naganap sa atin this afternoon. Let us always remember the words as we come to an end to our talk this afternoon. Let us always remember the words of Pope Francis.
Everyone must be committed in the matter of peace, to do everything that they can. Peace is the language we must speak.
That is according to Pope Francis. Maraming salamat po. Again, this is your host. This is Sir Sid Agua.
And this is Teacher Sharon. Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
Thank you.
Peace, peace.
our